Welcome back to the deep dive. This is your high-speed shortcut to being, well, instantly in the loop.
And this week, we have a mountain to get through.
We do. We're tackling Andrew Kagan's weekly technical news roundup. Our mission is to basically tear through it and pull out only what you actually need to know.
Right, and it covers everything. I mean, from the cloud all the way to quantum computing. We've boiled it down to 8 key areas for you.
Yep, that's Azure, Microsoft 365, Power Platform, DevOps, data and AI, security, learning, and then the big industry trends.
We'll walk you through all of it.
Let's do it. We're not just reading headlines here, we're connecting the dots for you. So let's start at the very bottom of the stack, the foundational layer.
Let's dive into Azure.
Where, the discussion is just, it's not about virtual machines anymore.
Not at all. It's all about AI and migration. It's fascinating, actually. Every single major announcement coming out of Azure now is framed through AI.
It's not about storage latency, is it? It's about how to feed your LLMs.
Exactly. How do you structure your cloud to feed those models efficiently?
Yeah.
And that's a different problem.
And the key to that is integration, right? Which brings up the first big update. Foundry IQ for multi-source AI knowledge bases.
Yes.
Let's unpack that a little. Why do we suddenly need a tool like Foundry IQ?
Well, because the bottleneck isn't the model anymore. It's the data you feed it. Most companies, their data is everywhere. It's in CRMs, ERPs, random databases.
It's a mess.
It is. So Foundry IQ is basically Microsoft saying, look, you need a dedicated layer to pull all that together, clean it up, and make it a trustworthy knowledge base for your AI.
Otherwise, the AI is just guessing.
It's just guessing. And that's dangerous.
Okay, so if the data strategy is changing, it totally makes sense the migration strategy would have to change too.
Oh, absolutely. The language is completely different now. We saw the introduction of the agentic platform landing zone with Azure Migrate.
Agentic. So we're really talking about migrations that are managed by AI?
That's the idea. We're moving away from a world where, a project manager is running through a checklist.
So these complex, high-risk migrations, they're going to be orchestrated by autonomous AI agents.
That's the direction.
Yeah.
And they'll coordinate with each other using things like the A2A protocol.
Okay, let's define that for everyone listening. What is an A2A protocol in practice?
Think of it like a common language for these AI agents. It's a secure, standardized way for them to talk, to delegate tasks, and to collaborate without a human constantly stepping in.
So one agent could be spinning up databases.
And another is handling the network side, and they use A2A to stay in sync. It turns migration from this manual slog into an autonomous choreography.
That is a massive shift. So let's carry that idea, that agentic concept, over to Microsoft 365.
Good transition.
Because if Azure is the infrastructure, M365 is where the agents, the co-pilots, they live on the desktop. And the theme here isn't adoption anymore, is it?
No, it's governance. It's panic.
Ah, right.
The deployment speed for Copilot has been just incredible. But organizations are now scrambling to figure out how to control it and keep their data safe.
On that security front, we saw a huge piece of news. Microsoft 365 Copilot is now in GCC High.
That's a really big deal.
For anyone who doesn't know, GCC High is that super secure version of M365 for U.S. government and defense contractors.
The ones handling really sensitive data.
Exactly. So for Copilot to get there, it means it's past some of the toughest security and regulatory hurdles on the planet.
That trust is essential. But it doesn't solve the internal chaos. We saw articles with titles like, Microsoft Copilot agents, why most fail, and we succeeded.
Which tells you a lot of people are struggling to build their own custom agent.
They're struggling, probably due to a lack of planning or, again, control, which brings us to the market response.
Tools like Agent 365?
Precisely. Agent 365 is being pitched as this AI partner for monitoring and governance. We've reached a point where the admin tools themselves have to be intelligent.
So you're using AI to govern other AI.
You have to. You can't keep up manually.
And just quickly, for the admins out there, we did get some smaller updates.
Right, like the CLI for Microsoft 365 v11.2.
And an update to EWS access for kiosk users. So the day-to-day stuff is still getting attention.
Let's shift from there into the low-code space. Power Platform and Dynamics 365.
Okay, and we're starting with the sunsetting, the deprecation of Power BI Q&A.
Yep, that natural language query feature is officially on its way out.
Probably because its capabilities are just being absorbed into bigger AI features across the board.
I think so. The real enterprise news here, though, is about large-scale automation. We saw the announcement of Project Opal.
An enterprise automation experience.
Right. This is Microsoft really cementing the Power Platform as the go-to for complex cross-departmental automation, the Fortune 50 stuff.
But the detail that really caught my eye, and it's where the AI speed really bleeds into this world, was the spectrum of how you build Power Apps.
Ah,
You have
yes.
no code, low code, pro code.
Yeah.
But now there's this new one right in the middle, Vibe code.
It's such a perfect and slightly ridiculous name.
What is it?
So the glossary defines it as a kind of collaborative conversational loop between a developer and an AI, an LLM.
So it's not fully autonomous, but it's not traditional coding either. It's
Yeah.
like a super fast pair programming session.
Exactly. The human is focused on the creative flow, on iterating. You're saying things like, okay, make that button red, connect it to this data source, don't worry about the logging yet.
You're just vibing.
You're vibing out a proof of concept. The sources are really clear, though. It's great for speed and trying things out.
But not for production code.
Not yet.
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't deploy it to, say, run your payroll system.
That's a perfect segue into DevOps and SRE. Because if Vibe code is making development faster and maybe, a bit more unstable.
Then the operations side, the site reliability engineers, they have to get way more rigorous just to keep the lights on.
And that tension is driving the tools.
Yeah.
We saw mentions of next-gen IDEs built around these agentic capabilities.
Yeah, like the mention of the Google Anti-Gravity IDE, an agentic next-gen IDE. The IDE itself is being constantly rewritten by AI.
But it's not just about speed. There was one source that really highlighted the operational challenge.
Which one was that?
When Gen AI breaks, rigorous orchestration keeps it running.
That's so important. If you connect this to the bigger picture, as agents build more complex systems, maybe from Vibe code, the SRE's role becomes absolutely critical.
So what does that rigorous orchestration actually look like for an SRE who's managing a system built with Vibe code?
It means an intense focus on observability, on fallback systems, on making sure those A2A protocols we mentioned are rock solid.
Because the failures will be new and unpredictable.
Exactly. When Gen AI breaks, it breaks in weird ways. The human SRE is now the conductor of a chaotic but powerful orchestra of agents.
Okay, let's go deeper into the engine room. Data, analytics, and AI. This section had what might be the single biggest conceptual shift for any data professional listening.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Context engineering is the new prompt engineering.
This is huge. For the last 2 years, it's all been about crafting the perfect prompt.
Right.
Now, the real value, the real bottleneck, is in the context. It's about data quality, robust retrieval structures.
Yes.
Making sure the LLM has the right knowledge base to give a good answer.
So we're moving up the stack, away from just the prompt, to the entire data pipeline that feeds the model.
Precisely. And the tech that makes this possible is RG Retrieval Augmented Generation.
For anyone who's not familiar, RG basically means before the AI answers, it first goes and looks up relevant, verified info from your own secure data.
It grounds the model in reality. It stops the hallucinations. And that makes context engineering way more valuable than prompt engineering.
And we saw practical tools to help enforce that quality.
Yep, like simple data contracts in Python for data scientists. Contracts are the only way you can maintain that quality context when things are moving so fast.
We also saw tools to simplify data movement, replicating data from Dataverse through Fabric to multiple places.
Which speaks directly back to what we said about Azure. You need those multi-source knowledge bases. It's all connected.
Tying it all together, there was that preview for securely accessing AWS S3 buckets in Microsoft Fabric with Entra integration.
Which is just table stakes now.
Yeah.
You have to be able to work securely across clouds.
Absolutely. Okay, let's move to security. Because as AI speeds up development, it's also speeding up the threats.
Just as fast. And we're seeing agent tech being used heavily on the defense side now, too.
Like that vulnerability remediation agent in Microsoft Intune.
A perfect example. It's an agent that doesn't just find flaws. It proactively fixes them across all your devices, often without anyone needing to do anything.
That proactive defense seems to be the key theme.
It is. We also saw the Defender for AI Services Workshop, which is basically an AI red team. Organizations are training their own people to break their AI before the bad guys do.
It's the whole secure by design philosophy.
Applied directly to AI. We also saw practical tools like Password 7, a self-hosted password manager. The basics are still essential.
And something you can use right now. Greynoise launched a free scanner to check if you're part of a botnet.
Everyone listening should probably go run that.
I agree. But let's talk about the other side of this, the concerning trend. The problem with AI browsers, security flaws, and the end of privacy.
Yeah, this raises a huge question. Are we trading fundamental security for convenience?
What's the trade-off?
Well, if the AI in your browser is reading every site you visit, every document you open, just to assist you, where's all that data going? What new security holes are we opening up by centralizing all that access into one tool?
It's a massive challenge. Convenience usually wins in the short term.
But the long-term costs could be huge.
So how are we preparing people for this new world? Let's talk learning and certifications.
The certification landscape is shifting incredibly fast to keep up. Microsoft rolled out a bunch of new AI certs, AB 900, AB 730, AB
The
731.
foundational one there has to be the AB 900.
Yes, the Copilot and Agent Administration Fundamentals.
That certification basically says managing the AI workforce, the agents, the governance is now an entry-level skill.
It's not optional anymore, and the learning paths reflect that. We're seeing tutorials for building agents in Copilot Studio, for agent mode in VS Code.
We're teaching people how to orchestrate these systems, not just write prompts.
Exactly. And it's not just vendor-specific skills. We saw Harvard's CS50 Intro to R Programming become available and a whole lecture series on modern quantum architecture.
So you need that blend of practical data science and, well, futuristic computer science,
Which is the perfect lead-in to our last segment, Industry News and Trends.
where that blend is happening right now. The convergence of AI and quantum is really picking up speed.
Absolutely. We saw news about using AI for quantum computing. The idea is that we might actually need AI just to manage the insane complexity of quantum systems,
To handle things like quantum error correction.
which is the biggest barrier right now. And on the business side, D-Wave is forming a dedicated U.S. government unit. That means quantum is moving from research papers to real-world defense applications.
Wow.
In the broader AI world, Anthropic acquired Bun, and their Claude Code model hit a billion-dollar milestone.
And the hardware wars continue. Amazon released a new AI chip with a very specific NVIDIA-friendly roadmap.
Everyone wants an alternative to NVIDIA.
Everyone. But the single most critical security trend in this whole roundup, the one everyone needs to internalize, is this one.
Cybercrime goes sauce.
Renting tools, access, and infrastructure. What does that fully mean?
It means the barrier to entry for a sophisticated cyber attack is now basically zero. You don't need to be a coding genius anymore.
You can just subscribe to an attack.
You can rent phishing as a service. You can buy pre-hacked access to corporate networks. A low-skill attacker can launch a high-level attack for a monthly fee.
Which means our defenses, the automated agents, the rigorous orchestration we talked about, they have to be just as automated just to keep up.
It's the only way.
So if we pull all of this together from Andrew Kagan's roundup, there are three huge themes. First, agentic everything. It's changing how we do everything.
Second, that big shift from prompt engineering to context engineering. Data quality and RAD are king.
And third, the commoditization of cybercrime, which just changes the entire threat landscape.
To survive this, you need a dual focus. You have to be an expert in building and governing AI systems.
And at the same time, you have to be an expert in security, orchestration, and remediation.
This is a whole new job description.
It really is. Which brings us to our final thought for you to chew on this week.
Let's hear it.
If the most complex tasks, from cloud migration to building apps with vibe code, are now being handled by autonomous agents talking to each other, how does your role as a human technologist change? Are you still the builder?
Or do you become the auditor, the orchestrator, the ethical governor of these AI systems,
Think about that. Your job might not be to write the code anymore.
but to manage the agents that do?
We'll see you on the next deep dive.